This line, which is the halyard, attaches to the Screecher. The Screecher is a sail that we actually use quite a bit in light winds. Like on a day like today, you would be using the Screecher. So it's important you know how to use this and how it is rigged.
Discovered 10 knots is about your max wind.
Yeah, 10 knots is about max for the wind for a Screecher. You don't want to be overpowered, it's pretty big. So this is the halyard, and gets pleated off on this side. And then this other line, which is white with black specks on it, that pulls the tack of the sail down. And then it goes to the top, and then you've got a black line which pulls it at the top. So you can adjust it up and down a little bit.
When you pull the Screecher up, when you pull the halyard up, try not to let the Screecher rest against the jib. Make sure it's as taut as you can get it.
Yeah, without being too taut. Jim, why don't you go to the back and release the tack for the Screecher. So you see the way that this is now really slack comes in, right? No, why don't you pull it back up? Just hand tight. We'll tighten it up later. Okay, just pleat that down. The Screecher jib sheets are these. Okay, so Jim, can you take this and set this one up? And then who else has used the Screecher? Okay, so why don't you teach Dan and show him how to hook it up?
Come across, Dan.
This is what we use to deploy the Screecher. Now, if you simply try to deploy it by pulling, notice what happens with this blue line. It gets wrapped around your Screecher, and then you're screwed. Now, the way to fix this is sometimes you pull, you get this thing happening, and it doesn't respin. The safe way to do it would be to release this blue line, pull the bowsprit up, and then untangle it. Okay? Not climb out onto the bowsprit. Now, to actually deploy this thing, what you do is you put it underneath, and it's kind of like you have your crew back there, and let's say we're going to deploy on this side. The wind is actually blowing this way, so we're gonna pull on the starboard sheet. Notice I've got two hands. Okay, pulling. Go.
It's called the yeehaw method.
You can't let go of both lines. If you let go of this line, watch. It'll pull your line a little bit. See it getting wrapped?
Yeah.
So you got to keep tension on both sides. Basically, one person can do this. Now, if you've got if you're talking about 3 people, 2 people doing this and 1 person pulling, that means you've got to have 4 crew. So let's say that we're totally deployed at this time, because I don't want to totally deploy. So if this sail is totally deployed, what's going to be in the way if you want to do a tack? The jib. So the only way to tack it or to jibe it is to pull it back in, where this Screecher, this jib, I kind of call it a jib, will clear this jib, okay? Because if you try to tack it, what'll happen is that, especially if it's really way out there and fully deployed, this will get in the way. You can't jibe, you might be able to jibe it. I haven't seen it done successfully yet. But the easiest way is simply to pull the Screecher back in and then jibe or tack around when you can actually pull the sail around. Okay? Like that. Whoa! So pull it back the other side. Pull it in. Pull it in. Pull it in. Going around. And you can see the sail maker sign on that side. and then there's no sailmaker sign on this side.
On the inside.
Got it. So you want the sailmaker side to stick out because that's where the sun protection sage is. And then to pull it back in, give it some slack, give it some tightness. That's how you pull it back in. So you can do it with one person pretty easily. You got to keep tension on both lines. If I let go of this, well, on this side it's okay. But when I was deploying, if I just pull on one side, you'll get a wrap.
She's gonna wrap clockwise.
If this line breaks, we got to figure out another thing.
We
to do.
got to fix that. That's a bad
You
joint.
might have to. You might have to read. You might have to kind of just bring the whole sail down and kind of fold it up like a spinnaker. You just pull this guy in a little bit, and then we're done. Okay. So that's how you use the Screecher. It's not a big deal. It's not a difficult sail to use. It's a wonderful light wind sail. It's great for beam reaches and broad reaches and runs. It's not a upwind sail. You will not be able to go close haul with this. So if you're trying to close haul, don't use this. I want to talk about the jib. The jib is one continuous line going from where mark is on one side all the way to the other side. It's one continuous line. So once you sheet in like this, and it's gone close haul, and you want to tack, you don't have to do anything. It's a self-tacking jib. So we're going to deploy the Traveler a little bit. So can you deploy can you loosen the furling line? Deploying the jib is exactly the same as deploying any jib. You just let the furling line out, it comes out. So now we have the line out. And why don't you sheet in the jib? Pull. That's enough. Give me a little bit more slack. Just a little bit. Okay, take that off. Okay, now you can tighten this jib from the starboard side or the port side because it's one continuous line. So if the wind is blowing off port, your jib is on the starboard side, right? Ready about, ready, helm's a lee, you're tacking. So you don't have to do anything because the wind is now, once you go through the eye of the wind, the wind's hitting this side. So once the wind's hitting this side, you tack. Self-tacking jib. If you get into irons, you're kind of like this. Wind's coming straight at you. If you were a monohull or a normal cat, you can backwind the jib. Can't backwind this jib because it's a self-tacking jib. When the wind, see normally, if you're on a starboard tack and you blow the tack and you want to have the wind help pull you over, you've got your cleat there and the wind is hitting you and it's pulling you off the wind. This doesn't happen in this cat because this Traveler will move to the middle or whichever side. Fortunately, this boat is really slippery. So as long as you don't have too much weather helm and the boat starts moving a little bit and you steer gently, you can actually steer it to fall off the wind. And as you're falling off the wind, then this will catch, your sails will catch, and then you're just falling off and sailing away again. That's why when you guys were trying to tack and you just get caught in irons, it's really easy to get it out of irons. But if you don't have the technique of going close haul to close haul, then you're going to stall it out. Now, the other big thing about this guy are the Travelers. So get into your sail theory, find out what a slot is and how to maximize your wind, your boat speed by adjusting your slot. So on a close haul, your Travelers will probably be fairly close. Pick it up. lock it down. So that's how you adjust your travelers to control your slot on a close haul. As you're falling off the wind, you want to move your travelers out. Go into a beam reach or a broad reach, you may have them all the way out, all the way, okay? Because you want to open up that slot. So, big thing on cats in general are the travelers, both in the rear and in the front. And that's how you control the jib.
We don't sail by the main sheet. The main sheet's a trimming device on the cat. You sail by the travel.
So we're anchoring now, and you have your anchor is set. Your anchor has been set, and you're ready to stay for the night. So you want to attach your bridle to the anchor rod. Okay, there's about what, 200 feet?
About 200 feet.
Yeah, there's 200 feet of this, so you know you're normally doing 5 to 1. 5 to 1 on 30 feet would be 150 feet.
And since he mentioned that, pardon me, this is not like anchoring a sloop. A sloop's going to have a rope road, and it's going to run up at an angle up to the boat, which is one of the reasons you need the 7 to 1. This boat has a heavy chain on it, and that chain's going to lie flat on the ocean. So you're not going to expect to see the same kind of line into the water that you see, and it's going to hold it differently. So just be aware of that difference.
It's got better holding strength.
It definitely
with the
does.
chain.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
settle the
good.
bottom better. So anyways, you set your rod or you set your bridle on your chain and you let this out. And what happens now is that your bowsprit is in the way, right? So before you do your anchoring and setting your bows and your anchor rod, you want to bring your bowsprit up. So I'm going back to the bowsprit from here. I'll let you adjust this a little later.
Rowhead has this boat at 1 o'clock.
I understand. So to raise a bowsprit is really, really easy. There's 2 blue lines that control the bowsprit. One is this line and it's pleated off. This holds the bowsprit down. So if you pull it, it'll basically pull down. Okay? So this line here pulls it up really, really easily. Okay? Now since you're anchoring, you can just tie this around here.
It's okay to leave the Screecher like it is because you said not leaving it against the jib. It's okay like that temporarily while you're
Yeah,
anchoring? Okay.
because you know, otherwise your alternative is to take it off.
Okay.
So, but basically, you tie this, you set up your anchoring. Once you're anchored, you set your bridle, just drop it back down.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So you set your anchor, you've anchored, drop the thing back down. So then at this point, you want to be able to set your bowsprit properly. And the way to set this properly is you want to pull this and set it to the level you want. Now to set the level you want it, because you're getting ready to take off, you go back, Jim, can you go back there and give me some more slack on the tack? Okay, so right about, no, too much, bring it back a little bit. Let's see.
Is there a correct level to lower it or lower it to?
So I use what is called the easy eyeball test. Learned that in economics 101.
Did you? Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The easy eyeball test,
Yeah.
you look at it and you say, that's good.
Okay.
Okay, now tighten it back up. You can let go now. So at this point, you can put a wind channel, you can tighten it up a little more.